Boxing truth here. It's a little over a week away, but I figured I'd talk about this significant heavyweight fight that's coming up on May 21st in Russia. And I figured I'd talk about this fight between Deontay Wilder and Alexander Povetkin, since there's hardly been any promotion for this fight. Hardly anything. You haven't heard a peep about it through the no promotion, no commercials. Well, I understand the fight's in Russia, but mostly has to do in large part is because of Showtime's inability thus far to secure television rights to this fight. So, American fans, boxing fans, could actually watch Deontay Wilder's biggest fight of his career. Now, the fight is over a week away, about 8 days away, and still Showtime has yet to secure a deal with World of Boxing, Ryabinski's promotional company. For whatever reason, even though Box Nation has long already secured the rights to this fight. When the fight was first announced, it was Showtime that announced this fight when it was first announced, perhaps too prematurely, because they still, as I speak, don't have television rights. Now, according to industry sources, people in boxing, eventually Showtime will make an announcement of airing the fight. They will secure the television rights, and then the fight will be shown in the United States. But it just makes you wonder what the hell took so long. It's really affected the promotion of the fight. You haven't heard a peep anything about it. It's unreal. No casual fan wouldn't even know this fight's gonna go down. The fight's in Russia. It's away from America. There's been absolutely no promotion. And Showtime just didn't do its best to help promote this fight, to help get better ratings, considering the ratings have been trash ever since the transition of a bunch of the fighters they were showcasing that went to a lot of PBC cards and other networks last year. So Showtime is still trying to recover from that transition and to showcase better ratings. They haven't had a good rating show in quite some time. And now with the lack of promotion for this fight, that looks like that's not going to change. They also have a card on the 21st featuring a triple header, I believe. Bunch of junior middleweight bouts, a couple of title fights that are doesn't really excite me. Doesn't thread the needle. Nobody cares about Lars' rematch with Martirosyan. Nobody really cares about Jamal Charlo fighting Austin Trout. Just does nothing for me. Not fights that I'm dying to see. But it's just amazing that Deontay Wilder, it's his moment of truth. This is going to be his statement fight. This is where he's going to show and announce to the boxing world that he is for real, or he's just another protected chump, pretender created by Heyman. Now, going into this fight, despite Wilder's protective upbringing, the constant series of dubious opponents, the predetermined matches, the cherry picks, even an opponent laying down for him, I'm still picking him to win the fight. But he's definitely up against it. This is his first real unhaymonized fight of his career, where there's gonna be no bullshit. It's not gonna be any head scratching knockdowns, someone laying down for him. It's gonna be a real fight, and it's gonna be Deontay Wilder's moment of truth. Can he beat the Russian, a 36-year-old Russian, who is a good fighter in Povetkin, but arguably lost to a cruiserweight in Marco Huck? Does not do well against taller opponents, has not shown the athleticism needed in order to get inside on taller foes, which is why I'm picking Wilder to win the fight. The physical advantages that he brings to the ring, his improvement, his conditioning. Younger, faster, and he can punch. The power, it's not as great as advertised, but it is for real. He does have power in the division. But I really would rather see Deontay Wilder winning this fight, simply because there's bigger fights out there for him if he gets past this assignment, this very tough assignment on May 21st. This is going to be his first, let's be serious here, let's be real. This is his first real fight. I know you guys are going to argue, what about Stavern? But, I mean, okay, but I don't know. That didn't look like this is Stavern I saw prior to that fight. It looked like a much depleted version of himself. Besides, Stavern is not the strongest heavyweight out there. He wasn't the strongest world title holder out there. He was simply a paper champion that beat Chris Arreola for a vacant strap. Not much to go by on that win, considering the limitations Stavern brought into the ring, the condition he was in. He wasn't himself, so it's not much to go by that win. But now Wilder's going to be in his first unhaymonized fight, and he's going to finally get a chance to prove to the boxing world that he's legit, that he's not some protected chump that's been feasting on hand-picked opposition, that he's for real, that he's going to be one of the major players and major threats in the heavyweight division. Rooting for Wilder. Maybe my nationalistic pride is kicking in. I am an American. I'd rather see Wilder win the fight, even though I don't like the way his handlers have developed his career. I don't like the bullshit that's going on with his career, the opponents, the laydowns. Despite all that, man, still picking Wilder and hoping that he wins, because it's better for boxing if he wins. Much bigger fights out there, much more interesting fights, much more lucrative fights. Imagine a fight between Wilder and Joshua down the road. Obviously, Heyman is feeding Anthony Joshua his less valuable pieces in the heavyweight division. But eventually I see a Wilder-Joshua fight happening if both guys can continue to keep winning. And that would be a great fight. Imagine that fight. Also, of course, Wilder-Fury as well. Another big fight that can be made. It's better for the sport of boxing if Deontay Wilder wins. And it's not looking good, you know. That environment, the fuck shit that goes on in Russia. Wilder better not eat no. He's got to have that Tyson Fury mentality when he goes to Russia. Have somebody pick up his food, have somebody bring his fluids. Don't eat any steak while you're up in that piece. Don't eat anything. Just can never be too careful. This is the heavyweight division. Make sure the ring is not too spongy. Make sure the ring is standard measure, so Wilder can move and stick that jab out and have put in his advantages in the fight. It's a lot of bullshit a fighter has to go through and has to watch out for, especially when you're a foreigner in another fighter's country fighting in his home soil. But I expect an announcement from Showtime very shortly about the television rights. It's fucking bullshit that it's taking them this long. There was some rumors afloating about why Showtime wasn't picking up the fight. I'm not going to get into it. I expect the announcement very shortly. Showtime will get the television rights, and American boxing fans will be able to get to see one of the significant fights in the heavyweight division. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.